Welcome, welcome, my sisters. Welcome to today's session here in the Shamanic Sister Circle. I'm super excited for today. I'm going to share something I've never shared about, apart from obviously with my clients. So, this is really exciting. We're going to talk about how I earn my money as a healer and how you can do the same thing. For me personally, success as a healer means to, first of all, fulfill your soul purpose, do what you're meant to be doing. Do that in a way that helps a lot of people in life changing ways, and to do it from your overflow and earn back an abundance of money, gratitude, and respect from your clients. And this is really what I struggled with myself for a long time. Any of those four components, all of them really, pretty much, mostly at the same time. So I really love making this easier for other women. So if you're live here with me, let me know in the comments, where are you currently at in your healing business? Are you just starting out? Have you not even started yet? Or are you already in business? Have you been in business for a while? Are you struggling with your income? Let me know exactly where you're at, and also share more with me what strategy you're currently using, if you're already using the strategy, so that I can help you. I'm open to any and all personal questions in the session. You can let me know where you're at, and I'll try to help you in the best possible way right here, right now. Welcome to everyone who's already joining me here live. Everyone on the replay, of course, also ask all of your questions and put your sharings in the comments, and I'll follow up with you later on. Now let me check everything is working here. If you're here with me live, say hi to me. Let me know if you can hear me and see me. It says here I'm live, so that's looking good. Can I actually see myself and the comments? It's the next interesting questions. I think it all looks good. Great, so let's dive right in. Lots to cover here with you. So let's start with what do you think is the issue? Once you've shared your current struggles, let me know why you think you're struggling. I would really love to know, because usually the solution to our struggles are right there in our own perception of why we're struggling. So let me know in the comments. What are you struggling with, and why do you think you're struggling? Let's start with that. Can't see any comments yet. Here. Dasha, beautiful. Okay. So everything must be working. That's great. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. So there's a lot of things that, when we don't have enough clients or we don't have enough money coming in, there's a lot of things that can be going wrong here. So we really need to have clarity on that before we can, make the situation better. Sometimes it is because we don't have the right training, right? So we are, not the best possible leaders that we can be. And so obviously we know that. And as a result, we struggle with confidence. And when we're not confident, then it's really hard to sell. Maybe you're holding back from, telling people about your services. And, maybe you're really good at what you do already, but you're still holding back from telling people about what you do. So this could be a self-worth issue, a self-love issue, could come from old trauma. Maybe you're just not crystal clear on your unique healing mission yet. You don't know exactly what to offer, or you're offering things that are maybe generic, that many other people are offering, that are not exactly why you incarnated, what your purpose exactly is, because that's always something that only you can do. Maybe you're just not sure who to offer your services to. Maybe you don't have that clarity on who your soul client actually is. And when you're talking to everyone, you're kind of talking to no one. Maybe you just haven't found your unique voice yet to express yourself clearly and what you're offering. Maybe you don't have a clear message. Maybe you don't have clear branding. And of course, maybe you're struggling with a soulful sales strategy, which is what we're going to go over today. So let me know where you're at with all of those foundations, and then we're going to dive into the 3 strategies that are really best for healers. They're heartfelt, soulful strategies that feel really good, that will not suck away all of your energy, that will lead to having a lot of soulmate clients that are really happy with you, that you are really happy with, and lots of money flowing back to you. Oh, Deborah! Hi, Deborah is one of my apprenticeship graduates. So lovely to see you. Lots of love to you as well. I'm just gonna make sure everyone knows that we are here. Just gonna tag everyone. Share with me in the comments. Where are you currently at? What are your current struggles, and where do you think they come from, considering everything I just shared as well? And you know, I really struggled a lot with all of this. I started my business in 2016 when I was pregnant, and then when my son was 2 months old, I continued. And you know, when I first started out, I created shamanic yoga straight away, because during my own shamanic apprenticeship, which I started first one-on-one, then I did a long group apprenticeship that lasted for 1.5 years, and then I continued one-on-one. And during that 1.5 years in the group, it was very clear to me that not everyone had that much ease with learning shamanism, you know. And I realized it was because not everyone had that kind of a crazy background in yoga like I had. And so I started to create shamanic yoga as a way to teach shamanism safely and step by step. And I moved to Findhorn when my son was a baby, to the eco village in the Scottish Highlands. And I started to teach there. And you know, Findhorn is like, they have seen it all. It was the first eco village created in the 60s, and all the people there are highly spiritual, highly gifted. It's full of healers. There's a lot of indigenous shamans also that come to Findhorn. So they've kind of seen it all. But when I first presented shamanic yoga there, it started to be wildly successful very, very, very soon. And I was really like, wow, if in this kind of place this flies, then people really need this. So I took it online really fast. And I knew what I was doing was important, it was necessary, it was needed. I still really struggled with making money, especially online. My in-person trainings at the time were selling quite well, though I didn't charge what I should have for them. But it was fine. You know, I was a single mom. I was earning a meager income, but it was enough to survive on. We were sharing a house at that time with other people. I was working in the community gardens for food, so we didn't need that much. But I was still I was really earning like a maximum of 2,000 euros per month. And I was earning most of it with the in-person things I did. And when it came to the online things, I spent much more time on that, but I was earning, you know, next to nothing. And that really exhausted me, you know, feeling like I'm online all the time, like I'm trying to be there for everyone all the time and providing so much value, and somehow nothing seemed to come back, or not much. Let me know if that resonates. Let me know if you've made the same experience at some point, or if you're still in that situation right now. And for me, things started to change really suddenly in 2020. And I made my first 6 figures in sales within just 6 months. I earned 100,000 euros. Now, what changed? My offering didn't change, but my strategy changed. So I started at that time to do live launches, and this is one of the strategies that I'm going to present to you today. And I had 8 women signing up to that first ever launch that I had, that I didn't even use Facebook ads for. And my offering at the time was 2,000 euros. So I made 16,000 euros in that first launch which for me at that time was absolutely life-changing. Single mom with no savings, living hand to mouth, and that was life-changing for me. And then I launched 3 more times that same year with increased prices and with more women joining at each launch. And so that strategy catapulted me into 6 figures, but also straight into burnout by 2021. So this was just not compatible at that time. As a single mom to a small child, these intense launches, they were really exhausting for me. Especially since my son wasn't in childcare yet, he was too young for school. So it was just like, I was just putting too much on myself. I was working a lot in the night, which was the only time I had without my son. So all of my sessions were really late nighttime for me. I didn't get enough sleep. I wasn't taking good enough care of myself. And I was not doing well at that time. Now, 2021 was, although I was in the middle of burnout, I had moved to Bali and I was just really giving myself that self-care that I needed to recover. And it was still a really crazy, profitable year for me, although I didn't launch that many times anymore. I had 5 assistants at that time. My business was basically running itself. I made well over 6 figures that year. I slept tons, I got pampered. I went, in 2021, I went to the spa 73 times. So I really, actually was doing well in business. I was recovering. But, even when I felt a lot better physically, I was still really unhappy. Although I was like living in paradise, I had fulfilled my dream of moving to Bali. I still remember it was my 30th birthday and I just sat there crying, And it's somehow because everything I ever wanted had come true, and it was like, wow, I'm just 30. What am I going to do with the rest of my life? And also it was because I wasn't really, I didn't feel like I was living my calling anymore, and that's what got me through all of the hard times, knowing that I made a difference, seeing my clients, blossoming before me. And then in 2021, with those 5 assistants, I wasn't that much involved anymore in helping clients. And I really missed that. I just love helping people, I love living my calling, expressing myself and seeing others blossoming as a result. So I decided to just change my strategy, get back fully in the game and stop doing live launches. Now, what I want to stress here is, don't get me wrong, live launches are amazing. They can be a lot of fun. They can be a great group experience and really energizing as well. It was just not the right thing for me at the time. They might still be perfect for your business, which is why I'm going to share about them today. And what you also must consider is, in 2020, I was in Austria in total isolation. I had really 0 childcare. So for me, that's one of the reasons it was not really compatible with my lifestyle back then, with having a small child. And then in 2021, I lived in the middle of the jungle with a small child. I had tons of rescue pets. I was living, sharing a jungle with monkeys and Asian water monitors. Those are those huge lizards that can like slice you open, with pythons. I didn't have reliable internet, so it was just not really compatible for me at that time. Now, deciding to change my strategy, I did not expect it to be that difficult to be able to make that much money again at the same time as not launching live anymore. It really took me all of 2022. I invested over 50,000 euros in business coaching. So a lot of what I had learned went back into the business, and it always does with me. It always does with me because my business is so important to me. Helping people is so important to me. I had to get a lot of mentorship to create a new highly profitable system that was aligned with my energy, that didn't rely on live launching. The problem is that this whole lot of money that I invested actually didn't help me get there at all. I was really, I was totally shocked by how little people care in this industry. Even the big business coaches that are like all about, do it from your divine feminine energy and promise you crazy results. I paid like up to 30,000 euros for just one of those coachings, and it's incredible how there was not even someone there to actually care, to actually listen to me and actually help me in my specific situation. So that was really somehow very shocking and very sad, and also made me quite angry for a while. I had to really work on that to get over that, and accept it as a costly mistake, and one that I would learn from. And at the same time, it also made me feel really proud of what I do and what I offer to people, and how much I care, and how much custom tailored support I give in all of my programs. Because this dream that most people sell is like, earn tons of money and remove yourself from your business. For us healers who have a soul mission, this is not our ideal goal. We don't want to be removed from the business. We want to be doing this work, right? Let me know if that's you. Let me know if you resonate with this. If you went into business for yourself as a healer because you want to help people. Usually as healers, we come from trauma, we come from some kind of suffering, either in childhood, either later in life, definitely in past lives, and we have found some kind of way to feel better, and we just want to share that with other people. Let me know if you resonate with that. And of course, if we have enough self-esteem and self-worth, we do realize that we need to receive back from what we do, and we need to find ways of making that possible. Hi Michelle, welcome. Dasha, you also learned that the same lesson. It is disheartening, yes. But all the better that, we do it differently, right? In Shamanic Stars, that's what I teach you. In my apprenticeship Dasha is in my apprenticeship, I teach you really how to do it the right way. Do it with heart and soul, which is really important. We talked about that yesterday in our mentorship session. I think you watched it already, Dasha. Now, what was I kind of drifted from my notes. Let me know so far if you have any questions, if you want to share anything. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, so the next step for me was in 2023, after I had spent all of 2022 trying out different strategies, learning a lot of different things. In 2023, I broke my income record with the new system that I created, earning 230,000 euros. So that's multiple six figures. Now, of course, not all of that is income, right? You have costs in your business. And when you are like me and you want to pay people well, I have a lot of employees. There's quite a lot of money that does not land in your pocket. So just want to be transparent about that. But it's still a lot of money. And definitely a lot more than most healers are earning. And it allows me to hire great people who support me. It allows me to have a lot of time for myself and my son. And it allows me to be really present with my clients. So this strategy is really great. And it's another one that I'm going to be teaching you today, which is still working with launches, but through an evergreen system. And to be honest, I don't think anybody else is launching like that. I have not seen the system anywhere. I kind of really combined the best of two worlds. And it allows me to serve hundreds of women, even if many of them obviously don't end up as my clients, but I still serve them, which is really an important part of my mission for me, to serve more people than are actually my clients. And it fills my calendar with calls with clients every week. So that's one of the big differences in the strategy, right? When you're doing live launches, you don't necessarily have sales calls with people. You simply send people at the end of the launch to a sales page. They sign up from there. Now that might sound like an easy way to sell, but it isn't, because you have a lot of preparation, a lot of admin work to go through before a launch even starts. And that's kind of the main issue for me with the live launches, that you have to kind of spend a lot of energy before the actual event, but that's when you need to be at your most energetic, which is kind of hard. And then you have to start working with new people. Now, I'm not saying I will never do live launches again. I definitely will. I love the group energy and all of it. And if I have the right offering, then I will definitely do that again. And I think for every business, this can be a really valuable strategy, which is why I'm going to share about it. And still, this evergreen strategy is probably my favorite. So what does that mean, evergreen? It means that people can sign up for your offering, not just during a launch, but at any moment. And you sign them up to be your clients through sales conversations. And I know that many of us have made this experience that either, from doing them yourself and having learned them in a very masculine kind of way, or from, having sales calls with a company that maybe were not so nice, not so heartfelt. Some of us have made negative experiences that way, but I want to assure you that the way that I teach this is really like fostering heartfelt connections with people that you can really help. And only after you've made sure that you understand where they're at and where they want to get to, only then do you actually offer your help if you think it is the right fit for them, which makes sure that you only present your offer to people who it really is for, and that makes it feel really good. You're offering a solution to someone who's looking for a solution. So it's a really cool win-win situation. So this makes it possible for me to speak to 5 to 8 women every week who are my prospective soul clients, who I know I can serve in life-changing ways while really enjoying myself. And out of those, every week, 1 or 2 become my clients. Now, of course, I have different offerings, right? So they become clients for different offerings. Sometimes those are small offerings, sometimes are big offerings. But the basic idea is to have one signature offering, which really is like the manifested version of your purpose, and where kind of all of your life experience, everything flows together. It's really what you want to do, what you're super passionate about, and to mainly focus the calls on that. Now, I often have phases where I do not enroll clients at all. So for example, in February and March, I didn't have any calls at all because in February I was traveling, in March was my birthday, which I always celebrate in a really big way. So I just didn't hold any calls. I just didn't focus on getting any new clients. And now in April I started again, and it's a really cool system. It's very flexible. You can kind of turn it on and off. And this really enables me to always make sure that my containers are not too full, so that I can really have tons of time and energy for all of my clients, all of my apprentices. At the same time, if I want to make more money, then I can, So it's really cool and flexible. So if you're thinking now, this sounds really good, I'm going to go more into exactly how this works. And I really also invite you to connect with me on one of those calls. You're going to see that strategy in motion for yourself. And you're going to see if my shamanic business coaching is right for you, for what you want to achieve this year. And I have different ways of doing my shamanic business coaching. You can come into Shamanic Stars, into my apprenticeship, if you also want to train as a shamanic healer. And if you don't, you can sign up for a monthly membership where you also get access to our group sessions. And we can focus only on creating your business or up-leveling your existing business. Or you can do it one-on-one with me in 3 to 4 months. There's a lot we can do together. So those are the 3 different options. So I really highly recommend you book a chat with me if you want to have a bigger impact and a bigger income as a healer. You can do that. I'm going to put the link in the comments for you from my website, which is shamanicyoga.love/clarity call. Now you're going to find more information on my training there. But this is also for you if you don't want to train. You simply click you tick that box. I'm not interested in the training. I just want the business coaching part, and then we can talk specifically about that. Everyone who's here with me live, let me know if you have questions so far, and everyone who's on the recording, do so as well. So let's go back to diving into these strategies in detail. These are all 3 strategies that I teach, right? If a woman works with me one-on-one, then I will listen to her, understand where she's at, understand where she wants to get to, and we will pick the best strategy for her. If you are in Shamanic Stars, you will learn the first strategy, Organic Soulful Sales, which is the foundation for all 3 of them. And if you are in the monthly membership, you can learn any of the 3 with me as well. So let's start with the first one, Organic Soulful Sales. So this is a system that is very simple, where you can attract your ideal clients through content creation. It is a low stress strategy. It's a low tech strategy, but it is time intensive. and your income can fluctuate. So I'm really gonna, every strategy has advantages and drawbacks. So I want to be very transparent about that. There is no perfect strategy, otherwise everyone would be doing that, right? Everything has, every coin has two sides, right? So that's why I'm sharing who it is for, so you can decide which one works the best for you, for your calling, for your ideal clients, for your energy, for your lifestyle. So the organic soulful sales this works best for newbies because the client acquisition doesn't cost any money with this strategy, and you don't need any kind of following to start with it, and you're going to gain a lot of experience here working with clients one-on-one, so that you're going to be very confident about what you do, and you're also going to get great testimonials. Now, even if you have been a healer for a while, if you have been in business for a while, if you're wondering why you don't have more clients or a bigger income, if you have never done organic soulful sales, then that's why. You have to do this at the start because this is your foundation for the other strategies, right? If you don't do, I still do organic sales to this day. Like when you see me on my personal profile, asking, who wants this and that and free training here and there, this is organic sales, right? I'm posting content, I'm sharing content. This is what I'm doing right now here with you as well. I'm live in this session and sharing this with you. And it's a free training, right? This is what organic sales is like. You talk about what you have to offer, you put a lot of value into the marketplace, and you invite people to take the next step with you. Let me know if you have questions about the organic soulful sales strategy. Now, organic usually means without ads, just to clarify that. So basically what you do here is you post content. It can be live sessions like I'm doing right now. It can be posts. You share value. You share about your expertise. You want to educate people on why they're actually struggling, what their problem actually is, and what they actually have to do to solve this problem or to fulfill this desire that they have, right? This is a lot about educating people on your area of expertise, people specifically that have that problem that you solve. And from there, you invite them on a call, right? I usually send people a private message first because I don't want to invite people on a call who it might not be ready for. I find out a bit more about them. And if I feel like I can serve them in the best possible way, then I send them a link to my calendar, and if they want to, they can book in. And then I just have a call with them, and on the call, I find out more about them. I get to know them better. And if I still feel like the solution that I'm offering is right, then I'm offering it to them, and then I'm leaving the choice up to them. So this is a really, really simple system. It's tried and true. It's really the core of how it works to earn your money as a healer by talking to people, making connections, fostering relationships. And it's very beautiful and always win-win, and I just love it. I always love meeting new people, having new conversations. Let me know if all of that makes sense. Let me know if you have questions. You're very quiet here in the comments. Let me know if this is overwhelming or anything. I'm happy to explain all of it in more details. Maybe this is all easy. You have more detailed questions. Happy to answer those as well. Now, the second strategy is live launching for healers. So the advantage of this is that you can generate a lot of money in a short amount of time, and there's great group energy. This strategy usually involves ads. You can absolutely pull it off in an organic way as well. If you post early enough about what you're doing, you invite people into a specific container, you can absolutely do that as well. But it is easier if you use ads. It does require a lot of preparation. It's demanding energetically, and you need to be able to have a flexible work schedule. If you're still in a 9-to-5 or you're a single mom, then this might not be the right strategy for you. If, however, you don't have kids, or you have great childcare and you only have a part-time job at this point, or your 9-to-5 is flexible, and if you have some money to invest in ads, and if you're willing to spend like 2 weeks before the launch to prepare this event, then this is absolutely for you. And if you really want a big cash infusion, this is the absolute best way to go. So this works best for all of those who already have a little following, or if you don't and you want to build one fast. If you have some money on the side to put into ads, you can build a following very fast with this strategy. Obviously, you mustn't mind a little pressure. Now, I've made as much as 40,000 euros from just one launch, whereas the upfront ad cost is only around 5,000 euros. So it is a little financial risk every time, right? But the potential on the return on investment is really big if you do it the right way, right? I don't suggest you do this without support, because it will probably not work. I used to launch every 2 months. And in hindsight, I really feel that that's too much. I would recommend for healers, for people like us who do energy healing, who want to use most of their energy for healings, I recommend launching 4 times per year. So that's every 3 months. That way you can still earn 6+ figures, but without too much stress. Let me know if you have questions about this. So basically, really what you do is you have a way of connecting to the people that need your help. You create an event. This could be a big 1-day, all-day event. I don't recommend that if you work with different time zones. It could be a 2-day event, 3-day event, 4-day, 5-day. I would say 5-day maximum. And then I think the golden middle is 3 days. I've always loved 3-day events. Usually people can commit to that. The best time to do it is usually over the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And, you invite people in on social media, in your favorite groups, on your favorite platform, or different platforms if you have a little following there. If you don't have a following there, you want to build one, then use ads, you advertise the event, people sign up to your email list from there. And then they get access to the group where you're holding the event, and you nurture people during this event. You go live, you answer their questions, their comments, that it must be about a specific topic with a specific outcome that people can achieve in just a few days. And you tell them about the opportunity. So for example, you could, if your solution walks people from A to Z, this launch could be how to get from A to B, and then you invite people to take the journey from B to Z with them. This could also be more like the whole experience of what you offer from A to Z, but a mini version of it. Yes, you give them an insight into all the core areas of what you would be doing with them if they were a client. Then of course you invite them from there to directly go to a sales page where you have an offer for them. If you do that, the offer, to be honest, I have sold up to 5,000 things that cost up to 5,000 euros directly from the sales page. But I have been doing this for a lot of time. I have a lot of really good testimonials. I have good sales pages, all of that. I have experience with doing this. So usually I would recommend keeping the offer at 2,500 euros, around that, same in dollars. So that people will easily buy from the sales page. If you have an offer that's like more than 5,000 or even more than 3,000, I recommend that you still have calls with people. It's easier to sign them up. And this is not because your offer is too expensive. I was just talking about this with my apprentices yesterday. Usually our offers are not expensive enough because we cannot even put a monetary value on what we're actually offering to people. If you are doing this the right way, if you are creating an offer that actually solves a specific problem for a specific type of person, then what you offer is going to be absolutely invaluable, right? You're going to be helping people how to heal from cancer. You're going to helping them to stop smoking. You're going to help them to create a great relationship or whatever else. It's something big. It's something that they really want and need, and people are willing to put money into that. So your offer is it's not that it's expensive. It's that people get sticker shock, when they hear too big a number and they don't have the context for what it is actually worth, what the value is going to be to them. So absolutely make sure that before you send them to the sales page, that they understand the value of what you're offering. And if you're doing this launch right, then you will. And this is part of what you're educating them on. The biggest problem with us nowadays is that we feel like we don't deserve support, or we shouldn't need support, or we don't want support because we have been disappointed as children or in the past as adults when we wanted to get support or we would have needed it badly. So let me know if that's you. That's definitely me, you know, whether that's as I was a child, I was a motherless. My father saw me as basically replacing my mother, taking care of everything. So he didn't support me. He didn't even understand my needs. And, you know, later on, I tended to attract men who are the same. So it can be difficult if you've made experiences like that to look for support. But let's be honest, if you have a real problem that comes from a soul level issue, which is what we work with in shamanism, going back to that core of the problem, whether that's a physical, financial, emotional problem, relationship problem, spiritual problem, they all go back to soul level wounds, right? That's why I love shamanic healing so much, because we can actually heal those wounds at the core. When you have this kind of wounding, you have it because you didn't have support. In that situation that was traumatic, you didn't have someone to hold you in that experience. Otherwise, trauma wouldn't have stuck, right? Trauma is created not necessarily by the horrificness of what happens, but by how your system was able to cope or not cope with it, right? So this is why we need support for any big result that we want to create. And we have to feel worthy of investing in ourselves to get that support. And we have to trust that we will find the right support where, you know, we will not get ripped off, where people will actually care about us and actually help us to get there, right? So that's basically what you do with live launching. Let me know if all of that makes sense. Let me know if you have questions about any of those 2 strategies that I shared. I'm not seeing any more comments. Are you still here, people? Is this still interesting? Let me know if you have questions. And then I'm going to dive into the 3rd strategy, which is my favorite kind of now. This is what I'm doing right now. Of course, I'm still using organic sales, like I told you, and I will still use live launches at specific times for specific offers. But what I mostly do, what brings in the money into my business, is evergreen launching for healers. So the advantage of this strategy is that it brings in a steady income. The disadvantage is that you have to obviously make a consistent effort with the launch. You have this big effort in one go, with a live launch, and then the money is in, then you can take a break, kind of. For me, this didn't really work, this up and down kind of thing. It was too intense. To do it as on a consistent basis. The advantage with the evergreen model is that you have income coming in all the time, because you have conversations with people all the time, but at the same time, of course, you have continuous work with actually getting people to schedule those conversations, having those conversations, before preparing for those conversations. And so it's a little bit more admin work, I would say. I still love it a lot because I love having these conversations and I love helping people, and that's the best way to do it. So what does it mean, evergreen? It means that people can sign up at any time for your offering. Now, of course, you always have to have an incentive for why people should be signing up now. And this is not, I know that many people work with fake scarcity. This is not what I mean by that. People come to you because they have a real problem, right? And their soul has guided them to you at this particular moment in time, which means that your solution for them is the right one at this time. It is not necessarily going to be the right one in a month or 2 from now. And most people don't understand that. They think that there is this opportunity and it's going to stay there. Just because this program, I'm going to keep running it, doesn't mean that they're going to be able to join. And this is not because I'm going to tell them you can't join later, but this is because energetically it's not going to be a possibility for them anymore. Usually you hear about the right solution at the right time, and then if you don't take action on it, you're on a different timeline from then on, and this opportunity might not align with that energy anymore, but it would have been great for you, right? So this is how we catapult ourselves into dark nights of the soul, when we're missing the clues that our soul is giving us. So we must really try to listen to our intuition, connect to our higher selves, connect to our soul selves on a daily basis, which is also something I teach in Shamanic Stars. because that's so important that we recognize the right opportunities at the right moment and make the right decisions for ourselves and take the right action for ourselves that is aligned with what we actually want and with what our soul incarnated for in the first place. So you always give people an incentive to talk to their higher selves, to activate their higher selves that knows that this is the right opportunity for them at the right time, instead of giving their ego kind of too much time, too much opportunity to talk them out of what would actually be good for them. Because the ego's job is survival, right? It's not about thriving for the ego. So the evergreen launch system is really best for those who are highly sensitive, who prefer not to do live videos, or at least not in front of big groups, or if big groups are overwhelming for you, or if you have only a little money to invest in ads. With the live launch system, you need to have a big chunk of money to put in first, because you need to get people fast. They need to sign up fast, because if people sign up too early, then they will not come to the event, and the event is at a specific time, so you don't have time to dawdle. With the evergreen launch system, you can just put a few €100 or dollars or pounds or whatever your currency is into ads every month, and you will still get calls with people. So even if you just put in €500 per month, you will still get 2 clients per month. So depending on what your offer is priced at, you will earn anywhere from 5 to 20,000 euros a month. So that's pretty awesome, right? So this strategy is kind of it's kind of really the best of 2 worlds. So what you do here specifically is you have an event that you offer to people, but it's pre-recorded, and you give them access to it in one way or another. I've been doing this in a Facebook group until now. I'm going to change the system slightly now. I'm going to put it onto a simple landing page. How you're going to do this really depends on where you're at in your business. If you already have a lot of testimonials for this specific event that you're going to create, then you can do it in a less admin intensive way by putting it on a landing page. If you have not done this before, then I highly recommend doing it in a group, so you can see the feedback from people, that will tell you if you need to change something in the content. And I highly recommend, before you create an evergreen launch with this event that you've created, to test out this event in a live launch, right? Or at least, offer it to people for free to test it out before you charge money for that, which of course you can do. If you charge a little money for that, these events always need to be cheap when you're running ads to it and people don't know you yet, but you could charge up to like maybe 15 euros. Like, I usually charge 7, you could go with 11, whatever your favorite number is, but something low that will pay part of the ad cost, which is pretty cool. And of course, you're not going to earn any money from this. You're paying money for this, right? And at the same time, you're going to be helping a lot of people, and some of them will become your clients. So let me know if the strategy makes sense to you. Let me know if you have any questions. The goal is always with these strategies to get people to have a conversation with you. That's really the best way to earn a lot of money fast and help people in the best possible way. So let me know from hearing all of this, what do you think is the best strategy for you at this moment in your business? If you want to share more about your business, where you're currently at, I can also help you figure out what the best strategy might be. So for all 3 strategies, we have private sales conversations with people. This is the fastest way to earn a lot of money, and it's the best way to serve people in the most life-changing way, since you commit a lot of time and energy to your clients over months of working with them one-on-one or in a small group container. This is the strategy, right? We are not selling single sessions. We are not selling cheap group programs. We're not doing any of that. Does all of that make sense? Not saying you can never do that, right? But it has to be part of a bigger strategy. I was just talking about that with one of my clients yesterday. She loves doing group events. I say, great, use those group events that are cheap, not as a way to make money and expecting all your income to come from that, but as a way to generate conversations with people. Invite them to that after they've experienced the magic of what you can do. So let me know if all of that makes sense. And what I really want you to understand is that for all of these strategies to work, you need some foundations first. Okay, you need the right training. If you don't have the right training as a healer that actually allows you to co-create life-changing healings with your clients, then this is not going to work. You need crystal clarity on your unique healing mission and who your ideal clients are, you know. So if you don't have that, it's also not going to work. You need a soul offer, something birthed from your soul that only you can offer, that really solves a big problem for your ideal clients. If you don't have that, it's also not going to work. And you need a clear message. You need a way to talk about what you offer that really speaks to your ideal clients, that's clear, and where they really feel like you understand them and you have a good solution for them. Now let me ask you, do you have all of this in place at the moment? Do you have all of this? Do you have these foundations that you need? And if you don't have these foundations, I can help you with that. I can build all of these foundations with you. You know, this will work over a period of 3 to 4 months. You can do it in a group membership. You can do it with me one-on-one. You can do it as part of Shamanic Stars if you also want to train in shamanism. So this is where you build these foundations and where you will implement the best soulful sales strategy for you, right? So whatever you want to do, if you're interested in becoming a shamanic healer and you want to join Shamanic Stars, the 7-month apprenticeship in core shamanism, then book a chat with me at shamanicyoga.love/claritycall. And also, if you don't want to do that, if you simply want to focus on up-leveling your existing income and impact, then also go to shamanicyoga.love/claritycall, book a chat with me, and we can talk about the options that you have. 2 options: either do it with me one-on-one, which is of course more expensive, but you will see results faster, or join the group membership, which is also a good way to really get custom tailored coaching from me, and is very affordable. And this is really about us working together so you can earn a great living by being you, expressing your innate gifts in powerful ways, feeling fulfilled, and receiving back tons of money, love, and gratitude. So would love to see you on a call for that. That being said, I'm going to travel next week. There is no appointments available, although I think on Friday, Friday, May 3rd is the next opportunity to talk with me about that, or of course the week after next. And what I also want to talk to you about is the fact that everything that we just covered is the practical component of this, right? It's the outer part of it all. But you also need to create the right inner foundations for all of this to work, right? To be able to fulfill your soul's purpose, receive back abundantly from your sacred work, you need deep inner healing on the soul level. You need specific self-care for healers. That's not taking a bath or going for walks, right? This is very different. This is about energetic self-care. You need to up-level your money mindset. You need to really look at your relationship with money. You need to clear old money karma from past life, from childhood. Without this inner work, you can have the best strategy in the world. You will still struggle in the 3D, okay? No matter what you're gonna do. So if you feel like this at this point, like you've tried everything, you probably need to work more on the energetic plane. And if you have not yet struggled with this, then I highly recommend to skip the trial and error and do it the right way, which is with support. I have gotten a lot of support in building my business from so many different mentors, and some of it was wasted money, some of it was really good investments, and I have really taken the best of everything that I've learned and really put it into those beautiful strategies that work for healers specifically. So take advantage of my expertise. It will save you a ton of time and a ton of money and a ton of nerves to do it the right way from the start. Good. I look forward to chatting to some of you next week. Anyone who's watching this on the replay, if you have any follow-up questions, you know where to find me. Put them into the comments or send me a private message. Thank you so much for being here with me in this session. Lots of love to all of you, and bye for now. Namaste.